You are energy. Today, we're going to go on an exploration of manifestation, and I'm going to share with you how you can use energy to create more abundance, all of the highest expression, more than you are of the abundance of the lower expression. But let me explain a little bit deeper and what I mean about that. So, you all are incredible manifestors. You are able to create huge amounts of abundance, but somewhere we believe that abundance is money and love and all of the consumer, like the material things, right? But the thing is, what about the abundance of the lower expression, which is the abundance of problems, of fighting, of physical ailments, of dis-ease within the body, or just bad things just happen over and over and over again. When will I get a break? Maybe this is the cards that were dealt for me. No, you're just an incredible manifester. And somewhere you have been programmed within a system that has not worked for you. And this can actually be to do with your upbringing, your financial status that your parents had. This can do with the school that you went to. This can do with the people that you've hung out with, the influences around you, the way that you've been treated by society in the system, right? So how can we actually reprogram ourselves and start going through a deconditioning process of the system? I want to make it very clear. This is not to put down the system or to hate on it or to be a naysayer about the programming, because let's face it, human beings have used these programs and these systems like religion, like the education system, like war, all of those things for survival. But we're coming out of an energy of survival now as we become higher dimensional beings. And we are literally shifting so we can become more energetic manifestors, which is what we were naturally made to be. Okay, so are you still with me? So the first thing we need to really establish within the energetics is that we are energy. But were we told that when you were growing up and we were being taught how to walk and talk and our ABCs and our 1, 2, 3s, and we were sitting there with a whole lot of other children? Were we taught about our different human designs, or the fact that some children had a lot of energy and some didn't? No, we were put in absolute boxes: boy, girl, teenager, young adult, female, all the different things. Mum, we've been put into so many boxes, again, maybe for the survival of mankind. But because we're changing so much, this is where we need to start understanding that if you are energy and not just a human being, you are energy which is embodied. You are spirit that is embodied, and you've got this soul, and there's these soul streams, and there's this oversoul, and there's these past lives. And yeah, let's not get too carried away with all of that. Let's come in and go, okay, who am I without this body? I am still me. We've got so much proof in the pudding that when the human body deceases, that there is still spirit around, okay? Maybe that's a belief system. Maybe you believe that or you don't believe that, and that's completely up to you. It's your prerogative. But at the end of the day, we have got energy that is racing through our body, and we are thinking, we are conscious, we are dreaming, we are time traveling, we are doing things that our brain doesn't do, right? We can literally think of a friend or send love, send healings. I do readings all around the world, and I've never seen the person's face. Maybe I know their name, right? Maybe I know their name if I've done readings. I've done them all around the world. I read for people every week on my Awakened Community of Victoria Bond on Facebook for free. And all I can see is one name, and I pull a card and I read for them, and spirit comes through. So yeah, I am energy. I'm not just a human, a 40-year-old mum of two sitting in front of a computer. Like, I am constantly expanding beyond my body. And here's something to prove that. If you try, this is what we do as humans because of the system, right? If you try to squeeze all of you into your human because you're shrinking, because you want to fit into the box that was created for you, what actually happens is you can't. This is where we start getting pain. This is every time we try to shut down our heart or make ourselves smaller because we feel insecure or we're not confident in what we're doing or we're confused or we're out of alignment when our energetics are not correct, they're not aligned. We try to bring ourselves in and we try to zip our spirit within our body, and eventually it has to burst out. And how does it burst out? It bursts out with outrage or sadness. Our human cries. It comes out in like accidents, like hurting ourselves, or dreams, or like I said, rage. It's like, rah, it has to purge out some way because you can't lock the spirit in your body. Your spirit and your human and your soul are three in one. You're an embodied human. That's what you are. Your spirit is within your body. And your body is within your spirit, right? So it's a little bit of a paradox there, actually. It's like you expand out. And this is what I want to teach you today. Expanding beyond your body. Yes, we're in, right? But we're also out. So within, so without. So that's another meaning for that as well. And, you know, when we expand our energy, and I invite you to do this right now, drop your barriers. And I always say this because we put barriers up, we try to zip our spirit within our human, and we're like, oh, but the truth is that makes us more dense, more solid, and it makes our body more painful because we're trying to squeeze. It's like trying to hop into a pair of pants that are 2 sizes too small. It's near impossible, right? Eventually, the zip's going to blow out or the button's going to pop off. Like, it's uncomfortable. So what we can do is we can drop our barriers and go, okay, I'm just going to drop my barriers. We've put those barriers up because we're trying to protect ourselves. We've been taught from a very early age that things can come and hurt us. So we put up these barriers and we close our hearts off. And every time we've had an experience that has broken our heart, or we've been told off, or someone hasn't recognized us or got us or got angry with us or betrayed us, we literally are like, well, see, there's more evidence. There's more evidence I can be hurt here. So you close down your heart a little bit more. You put up another wall, right? And then you become more dense. You become more solid and things become harder energetically. They become this kind of warning sign in your brain, warning, something might hurt you. Shut down, put up the walls. But what if you drop those barriers down? What if you drop those walls down, that armor down? Drop them down right now. You know how to do it, right? And why am I telling you to do this right now? Because there's nothing to be afraid of at all. You've been told to watch out for the boogeyman. You've been told to, don't play with fire, or like play with fire, get burned. You're doing the devil's work, like the devil's on your back. Like, be careful if you dabble. Don't go too far outside of yourself, or certainly not your box and your role here on earth. Otherwise, you are literally meddling, you're dabbling. So don't do it. It's a fear system that many of our parents have used. Mine certainly did. They didn't know any different, right? We do this on all of our children pretty much because of the fear that is so embedded in us. So what happens if you actually drop your barriers? You're not selling your soul, right? You're not. Drop your barriers, expand your heart. Cacao is really good for this. Holding a rose quartz is really good for this. And this is what I do in all my programs, is what I do in all of my communities with all of my clients, is drop your barriers, open your heart. And if you're like, what? This chick is whack. How do I do that? You just do it because your spirit knows. Remember, our consciousness of what we think is conscious is actually just our thinking mind. And we use such a small amount of our mind or our brain, but we also have the subconscious and the unconscious and our energetic system, which is always working for us. And this is why we see signs and synchronicities. This is why we meet people or have to go here or go there, because our soul is always guiding us, which is the part of the energy that we be. So dropping those barriers, opening your heart, holding your rose quartz crystal or any crystal that you like, and just feeling your feet on the ground now. Just going to uncross my legs, feel your feet on the ground, maybe even putting your palms together. And then using the breath, because this is the thing, your human body is the best resource that you have. Your human body is this miracle. It's a miracle machine. It's a miracle being that self-heals itself. We heal our own mind. We heal our own body. We heal our own gut. We heal ourselves. But we can only heal ourselves if we have our energetics right, okay? So this is what I want to really hone in today, is your energetics is so important, not just the strategy of living, okay? And that goes with business as well. Energetics and strategy together creates massive amounts of success. On their own, you've just got like a broke hippie who's like, I'm waiting for my guides to take me somewhere and show me the way. So there's this kind of like expectation of the guides to run your life, and life doesn't work that way. You are the strongest entity and human and energy source in your reality, right? And if we are focusing on just being human and utilizing the mind, we literally are missing the energetics, which is the gratitude, which is the receiving, which is what we're doing now, dropping the barriers and opening the heart, feeling those feet on the ground, now bringing those roots down into the earth and really interlocking them together into the center of the earth. So you can do this with your eyes closed or open, it's up to you. Go down into the earth, maybe wrap those beautiful roots from your feet all the way down around your favorite crystal in the center of the earth. Using your breath, breathing in all the way down to your toes. And expanding that belly, and now breathing out. Breathing in for the count of 4, all the way down to your toes. Holding for the count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out your mouth as long as you possibly can. We're going to do that again in your own space. Breathing in for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding for the count of 6. And breathing out your mouth as long as you possibly can. Okay, beautiful. Regulate that breath when you are ready. You can feel those roots. You can feel the breath bringing you down into regulation. Now, when we are holding our breath, when we are breathing out a longer amount of time, when we're actually consciously breathing and expanding that belly and bringing the breath all the way down to the feet, what is happening is the regulation is very, very powerful. The human realizes there doesn't have to be the hustle. I can watch this video. I can carve out the 15 minutes to work on my human, right? Because your spirit is connected and your soul is happy that your human is happy, because then you are more consciously aware. The human being is its own entity, right? So your human does things automatically. This wonderful brain is fabulous, but also we have to acknowledge that we aren't necessarily our human. Our human is a vessel. Our spirit is its own entity, and we have a soul, right? It's the trio, the 3 in 1, and all 3 must be absolutely respected. Okay, so you are creating abundance of problems, abundance of money, wealth, prosperity. You're creating abundance of love, of friendships, or maybe you're creating an abundance of absolute issues and havoc. So first of all, we need to understand, when it comes to shifting this, that we need to take responsibility and understand that we are creating it, right? So too many people are like, why is this happening to me? You've created this. My life is shit. I'm not taking responsibility for this. But when you can do what I just taught you, is dropping your barriers, opening your heart and expanding, and we're going to do the next step in a minute. What you can do is acknowledge that you are so much larger than you think you are. So you have actually more say in how you're manifesting rather than believing it's happening for you. You actually, happening to you. You realize that actually life is happening for you, not to you, meaning you get to mold and manipulate in the best ways possible. And of course, you get to explore what it is that you're manifesting. Then evidence will come, evidence and signs and synchronicities. As long as your perspective isn't narrow, this is the only way forward, it's more open, which means opening your heart and expanding out. So the next part that I want to share with you is to expand, right? So we've already expanded past the body. We've dropped our barriers, opened our heart, and expanded out. So we've created a bit of space. But now I invite you to expand beyond your aura. Bringing that breath in all the way down to your toes and breathing out as you expand your energy beyond your aura to fill up the room. Beautiful. There's nothing to fear. You are safe, guided, loved, protected in this beautiful channel. So as now you expanding further, expand to fill up the town, the suburb, or the city that you're in. Now, breathing in. You're nice and anchored. Your human is safe and loved and guided. Now expand further. Expand around the world and through the world, knowing that energy is faster than light, right? You can do this very, very quickly. If your mind gets in the way, that's okay. Just ask it to step out and allow your energy to work. Expand further now. So expand all the way out to the cosmos. Expanding your energy, expanding your energy, expanding your energy. And now, from this expanded viewpoint, you might actually want to turn around and have a little look. Notice as if there's any edges of your actual being. Notice as you're listening to my voice, and hopefully your eyes are closed now so you don't get distracted. Just notice as you look back at yourself and observe yourself. Maybe you're lying down, or maybe you're sitting on a chair in a room, in a house, in a suburb, on a street, on a section. Maybe you're in an apartment. Maybe you're in a motel. Maybe you're in a car doing this. I don't know. But notice where you are at. Notice how little your human is, and notice how large your energy is. Your being. How would you fit that into that tiny little vessel? But that tiny little vessel is powerful. It is a channel, and it is greatly appreciated from the world. Now, another little concept that we could play with here is anything that's going on in your human world right now, in your relationships or your finances, or maybe with your self-esteem, or maybe your business. Maybe look at any problems or issues or challenges that you have from this more expanded viewpoint. Maybe you're going through some grief or a purge. Maybe it's a celebration. What is going on in your human world right now? And how can you see it from a different perspective, from a more expanded lens, viewpoint? And often when we do this, we can see that our problems can be very easily solved with a perspective shift. From a more expanded viewpoint, from a soul viewpoint. Why are you choosing the things that you are choosing? Why have the things happened that have happened? Maybe just noticing you're human and knowing that your human's okay, it's regulating, it's safe, guided, loved, protected, it's got earth holding it. How does it feel being this expanded? And maybe you could expand a little bit more now, knowing that your human's fine and you're connected to your human. Beautiful. Alrighty. Coming back into your body, you can dive back in, fly back in, but staying expanded and just coming back into the conscious awareness of your body, maybe blinking your fingers. Wiggling your fingers and blinking your eyes. You can blink those fingers if you want to. Just notice how you feel now. You've dropped your barriers, you've opened your heart, you've expanded. Just have a little look around, just very, very gently, as the mind has calmed down now. Maybe find something to focus on and just stare at that for a while. And just let that mind be blank. There's no place that you need to be right at this moment. Giving yourself a couple of minutes to work with this beautiful Trinity. So here's the thing, energy. We can run away from people. And when we do run away from things, people, situations, it becomes an energy of things wanting to chase us, to catch us, to get the energy, right? We know this happens with our children. It's like, leave me alone, leave me alone. Or if we're having an argument with a partner or somebody, or we just are trying to ignore things, it's like, nope, blocking, and you're kind of running away from something. It's like their energy is trying to get you. But what if instead of running away from energies, and I'm sure you guys all know what I mean by this because we've all done it, right? What if we, instead of avoided or ran, what if we opened our heart and we just visualize a lot of energy coming through us? We pull it in first, right? Pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, just like the expansion that we did. But now you're going to be pulling it in from everywhere, from the room, from the trees, from the curtains, from like the house, from everywhere. Pull in the energy, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. Wait until your heart expands. You're pulling it in from the earth and the sky and just the mountains, the trees, wherever you're at. Pull it in, waiting for that heart to expand, and then flowing lots of energy to the person that may be annoying you, to the situation that may be annoying you, to the thing that you've been running from or avoiding. Flow energy to it, right? Fill it up full of you. This will energize you because the energy is not coming from you. It's coming through you from what you've pulled and filling up whatever that other thing is rather than running from it. Looking at things, facing things, acknowledging things, right? Then you can equalize that energy when you feel that the situation, the person, whatever it is now full, and receive the energy, right? So then, of course, there's the other way around. Maybe you're being like you're the chaser. Maybe you're chasing the energy. Maybe you're trying to get someone's attention. Maybe you're wanting something. Like, I'm wanting to be more conscious. I'm like in this kind of need to consume energy, whether it's a person's energy that you want, whether it's information, well, whatever it is, it's the absolute opposite, right, from the running. So if you're trying to get someone's attention or you desire to manifest more friends or money or clients or abundance of the higher expression like money and, like I said before, and all the deliciousness, then try pulling it in, right? Pull it in like a hug if it's the person, and hug the person without taking from them, right? So you want to hug them, but visualizing energy coming from behind them, not from them. Now, this is a mistake that we do because a lot of us have been taught how to be codependent because we've seen this with people around us in our upbringing. We've seen one person is usually quite narcissistic, the other person is usually codependent. They attract together. It's like this yin yang energy. But what if when we are desiring attention, what if we pull the energy from behind somebody and pulled it towards us to get their attention? What if we did this with the new hat we wanted, or the new car, or the new house, or the new job? I've helped so many people get jobs because I've gone to job interviews and we've used these energy flows. Okay, so just a little snippet of energy. So I'm just sharing a little bit with you. So what you want to do is you want to pull energy from behind somebody and through somebody to you and through you. This is going to get those people thinking about you. It's not weird voodoo. It's not negativity. It's just energy, right? I'm thinking about you. I want to call you, I want to contact you, or I want to feel connected to you. We can do this to our children if we want them to call us, or we can do this with friends or partners if we're feeling a disconnect. You just have to really think, okay, do I need to flow them energy so they can feel me, they feel content with my energy, or do I want to pull them close to me? Do I want to pull them close because I am feeling like I'm a little bit needy towards them, right? So you've just got to figure out what that one is. But here the thing is if you're desiring to create more manifest abundance of incredibleness, then you've got to pull it in, right? You pull it into you and you receive it. My 3 pillars are release. So we've got to acknowledge and release where we've been holding in and locking in. And we've got to be able to release those barriers, release that, I want to say the definition that we've created of who we are, release all of those patterns and judgments and programs and systems. And then, of course, we want to be able to receive. So how do we receive? Well, you've got to drop those barriers so then something can actually come into this energetic system. And of course, we have total choice on what that is because we are very powerful beings and we can discern and we have choice on what we are receiving. So of course, the 3rd pillar is perceive. How do we shift our perspective on what we are worthy of receiving and what we are willing to receive? So a lot of people, I will say to them, are you willing to receive $5 million? And so many people go, yes, I am. And I'm like, are you really? And when we look into the energetics, actually they shrunk and they were like, oh no, it feels uncomfortable. Then I'll have to give it away. Then I won't have people, my friends, for whatever reason. But what if you were willing to be an all-powerful being that you be and receive that money? How would it feel within your body? It's when we close ourselves off. We can do this with our hearts, with our shoulders. We close ourselves off. We make ourselves dense and solid that it's anything that comes our way. It's like this, literally like a resistance. Like it's either repelling or it's like ego, like this. It's hard, right? But if we dropped our barriers and expand, if something comes to us, it's not aligned, it just goes straight through us, right? There's not that resistance. And if it is abundance, like money or clients or magic, I manifest hats and clothes and jewelry and like all these beautiful things. I'm like, come on in, I'm willing to receive you. I discern what is energetically correct for me without judgment, but with awareness. And there's a little bit of a difference between judgment and awareness, right? Judgment has a charge. We simply close down when we're judging, and literally it can come in and be literally like a resistance, right? But if we're in awareness, we can just simply say, yes, I'm willing to receive that. No, I'm not willing to receive that. Thank you. We're not judging our awareness, right? So this has all been about you are energy and how you can use energy, how to expand, how to pull energy, how to use it with things that you're desiring to create and pull in. And also if someone's kind of like trying to get your attention or you're running away from what you've been creating, which has been a lower expression of what you're manifesting, which of all is connected to energy. I hope you have enjoyed. And of course, you can come over to my Awakened Community of Victoria Bond on Facebook, which is a free platform. I'd love to know how this resonates with you and how you use energy. So we've just touched on energy, but energy is everything. And there's so much more you can play with. So get curious about how you are manifesting